Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of The Cook. I am joined today by the absolute legend, OldManStillCan. What's going on, my brother? Oh, can't hear you.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. What's going on, brother?
How we doing? Oh, man, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on here. First time streaming.
Dude. Yeah, well, I haven't really known you that long, but, like, chatting with you, like your Discord and stuff, I'm like, damn, is this like my doppelganger, man? Like we're all into this kind of like the same things, like heavy metal, lifting weights, I mean, I think you're a couple of years older than I am, but like just everything, it just seems like, I was like, man, it's like I've met this brother. I gotta get this guy on my show. So anyway, yeah. And I'm all got my drinky drink ready going, little electrolytes and creatine today.
That's good stuff, man. That DBAP, that's good stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. That is the absolute that's some intense pre-workout. I need to get a sponsorship from Axe and Sledge.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be epic. But anyway, this is OldManStillCan. If you have not met him before, you should. You should maybe check him out on X right there. But you have this. This is the banner off your X page, and I dig it, right? Like, just I don't want to let you talk and tell me, like, this is your motto. This is like how the OldManStillCan logistics.
Yeah. So, I mean, we both like metal and probably punk rock and stuff. There's a band called The Descendants. And so this is a play off their all logistics. Theirs is a lot more tongue in cheek, but I was thinking just some basic rules to have fun with, thou shalt not commit stillness, right? You got to keep moving, man. I think we both, we had a talk about the importance of movement and just keep it moving. The whole thing about train for life is, what is it? It's about training for life. You know what I mean? It's kind of self-explanatory. It's not just train for life. It's training for your life movements. And, we talked about the chiropractor and how I took my family to see it. We went over the hinge. We went over deadlifts. We went over these important movements that you need for life, for living. So, train for life. It kind of says itself.
Yeah, for sure. And it reminds me of like Boy Scouts of America. Their motto is like, prepared for life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And really, that's kind of like the same thing. To me, it's like, taking care of yourself, bettering yourself, staying in it, and really, you can do stuff at any age, right? Life, and
Mhm.
like you got right there at the bottom, life is movement, stillness is death, and I used to always say things like, if if you're too old to learn something, then why bother continue to be alive, right?
Right.
You know,
Especially nowadays, man. Look at what we got.
yeah, for real. It's so much easier and better. Like it's so much easier these days to learn something. Look at that. People's markets, Eagle Scout in the house.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right
and
on. Yes,
he's
I
got a
know the
cool
Scout
background, man.
motto and law, dude. Um, and Hector, this is mostly true unless it's going to get you arrested. So, but anyway, um, now, dude, guys, this is just like I love this, and I think this is one of the things which is like, man, I dig this guy, right? Just because I have that exact same mindset as that, is just keep moving forward, keep working. And I'll tell you, one of the big things that motivated me to get to the gym, to work out, it was primarily, I was super overweight, dude. I was like
Mm.
325 pounds, okay, of fluff and chub. And I went on a cruise, uh, and they had this sky bike that went around the top of the ship. It was like you get in it and it's on a track and whatever. So, but there was a weight limit, like 250-pound weight limit. And getting on the ride, there was a literal scale, and you had to go stand on the scale, and it didn't give the number. It said like red light, green light.
All right.
Cool, walk this way, get on the ride. Red light, there's like, so sorry, sir, you may go sit over there. And so like I would go sit my fat ass down in shame, right? And I'm like, oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate this.
Right.
I'm watching my son go and do these things, and it absolutely killed me. And so I was like, I got to do something about this, right? And so I worked my ass off. I had another cruise scheduled like 9 months ahead. I'm like, I'm gonna get down there, and I did it. I worked my ass off, lost a ton of weight, got all the way down to 235. Did it,
Right on.
got a blast, right?
Right.
So it was awesome. And like after I hit that goal, I'm like, you know what? I dig this. Now I want to get as strong as I possibly can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just start lifting. And my son, he's like 23. The dude, he just comes up and he goes and just touches a weight, and just, he starts to fall, right? Whereas how it is for like guys like you and me, man. I mean, you have to work like 10 times harder, right?
Yeah.
10 times harder, just because we don't have the testosterone levels like the young pups do. I still outlift him by a lot. A lot. But anyway, I digress on some
No,
of
that's
those
an awesome
things.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, that's kind of like what motivated me. And I'm actually like the mayor of my gym, because that's what the people say. He's like, I'm always there, and they've got like my picture up on the wall, like the success story, and it's been up there for like almost 2 years now, dude. But
That's awesome. That's a nice gym. I think it did some of your backgrounds, man.
yeah, it's all right, Jim. I mean, it's Anytime Fitness, and I hit that gym because they have gyms all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I can access any single one of them, and I can go at 3 a.m. It doesn't matter, 24/7. I mean, I remember one year Thanksgiving, my mom's visiting, she's over, and we've already eaten. And I'm telling my wife, I was like, okay, I'm headed to the gym. She was like, what are you talking about? Like, your mom's here visiting. And it was like, yeah, she's cool, but it's arm day. She's like, it's Thanksgiving. Arm day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like I would do that, right? So anyway, guys, one thing that I wanted to show was some workouts that are good for people. And, oh man, feel free to comment at any time on any of this stuff. But like maybe you're older, maybe you are struggling with movement, maybe you have back issues or things like this. You don't have to be bench pressing. You don't have to be lifting heavy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to go hardcore. You don't have to get on that treadmill and like run as fast as you can. There's a lot of things that you can absolutely do. And the first thing that I recommend to anybody is build your core.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Your lower back, if you can build strength in your lower back, you will help yourself so much. Okay.
Yeah. And people got to realize core is more than your abs. It's everything that, it's like a belt that wraps all the way around you.
Absolutely. And you see like, okay, so like you see the Mr. Olympia, right? And those guys, like they look absolutely shredded, these huge things, and they're strong. Okay. But when you're looking at that, it's like all this, they're severely dehydrated. And the way they work, they're working for huge muscles, not necessarily as strong. But you see the strong men and they don't look anything like that. Right. And they look like they're
they got massive cores.
It's like a barrel.
Yeah.
This massive core. And someone was like, that looks like a big chubby dude. No.
That's what your core should be like, unless you want to be thin.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to show about 4 videos, guys. And I am not like a physical therapist. I'm not a professional, whatever. This is just like what I've done through experience, what I've seen other people recommend. My best friend, he's 51. He used to have a ton of back problems, and he lifts. His upper back, he sprouts wings, right? But his doctor, his chiropractors tell him like, that's great, but your lower back is weak as hell, right? You need to work on that and your core. So here we go. The first one, this is super simple. Anyone can do it at home. It's just a simple like leg raise. So I'll go ahead and start that now. Just like hold your legs up like this. And then you can even like switch into the up and down.
Yeah, that's a good core one. You'll really feel it.
It really is a good core. And I think like what's important about that one is, keep in mind, do as much as you can, right? For as long as you can, and then just like keep doing it every few days, keep working at it, keep trying, keep doing that, keep building it up. You will feel it like in your legs, but especially your core. And this is like, it's a great exercise, especially like if you can't do sit-ups, this is a great one. All right, next, this is the classic, the plank. And it's just very simple. Like I'm holding and I'm going on my elbows, but then I move up to the hands, and you can work your way up to a minute.
I like doing that. Yeah. Yep. Switching back and forth. Yeah, I like doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. I even like start doing that. People's Market. I hope you do, my friend. I hope you do. So yeah, that's just like a very simple planks, dude. And whatever it is that you can do, some people that go up, all the way up, but even just starting down on your elbows, like it's a great place to start. Do you do the plank ever?
Yeah. I like doing it.
Okay.
I don't do it all the time, but yeah, it's something I like to work on. I really like the deadlifts, man. I used to have back issues. It's a different story. So when I first moved to Washington, I worked on a farm, and nobody ever told me that you shouldn't buck hay and with shorts. And so I kept on scraping my knees, and I just tweaked my back. And then, it wasn't until I was like 25 or later, and I started doing deadlifts, and it's like that just eliminated, what I mean? Anything. It just helped everything. And then whenever I stopped doing, it'll take like a year later, but whenever I stop, that I'll run into issues. But yeah, I mean, it totally like I had issues for like 10 years of this stuff going on. I don't know how to else explain it, but the deadlifts
Right.
like take it all away, man. Core exercise, yeah. And
Yeah.
again, right, it's not just the front, man. It's the back, the lower back, and like that
Yeah.
whole belt around. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
The glutes,
Yep.
that's the butt muscles for anybody who doesn't know. And so like there's, there's the traditional deadlifts with the big bar and all of that. And some people won't do it. Some people can't do it. Like if you do them wrong, you can hurt yourself. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
especially if you're going very heavy. But there is something very simple. And even if like you can't bend your knees very well, and this was my wife a while back, like she couldn't do anything that involved bending her knees, right? And so I started her out with these very simple, light, like this, just walk. So I'm not really bending my knees that much, and I'm not even lifting that much weight. They just kind of like, it's a slight bend, but if you have to start out with no bend, then do that.
Yeah.
These are very lightweight to me, but it's good for those hammies.
Oh yeah. And the lightweight helps you focus on what you should be feeling.
Exactly.
Instead of going heavy and overdoing it, start at something that you can feel it. That's one thing I kind of learned with the chiropractors, that is like start light and then the whole mind to muscle. You don't really, I don't know how to explain it. The people talk about the mind muscle to mind connection.
Yeah.
But if you start light and you have good trainers, even like the chiropractor guys that we go to, that you can really feel it. You'll start connecting things, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, like, to me, the way I do that is like, I try to like put my mind in that muscle. Like I'm doing this lift, right? Say I'm doing pull downs, and it's real easy for you to end up putting that into your arm. And It's like, I'm trying to focus on these upper back muscles. And so I really think pull with that upper back, and that's what works for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people laugh when you see those powerlifters and they're going through their movements. That's what they're doing, man. They're setting that mental connection, or they're prepping themselves. And it's, you just gotta, who cares what people think you're doing? Just set your, just go out there and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Kev out there hitting a 405-pound deadlift.
That's rad.
That's badass. I think I've actually seen a video of that, which is absolutely amazing. I don't know what my PR is on deadlift. I don't go for PR on deadlift. I just go for reps. Like sometimes they're just like, I'm just going to do a ton of 225. As many 225 that I can. And for some people, that's a lot of weight, right? Like I've worked my way up to that. I've done, 360, 380, whatever, and I always try and do like 2 or 3 reps of that. But I don't ever go for that PR, because the PR on deadlift, it is a lot of strain.
Yeah, it is.
Like you see the guys doing the competition and they're bleeding from their noses.
Or they're throwing up.
Yes, vomiting. Yeah. So, I mean, if that's your gig, cool. Just like I would rather go for a PR on like bench or squat or something, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, this is also like, and the exercise I'm about to show is it's called Roman chair or hyperextension, and it is it's really what cleared up my best friend's lower back. And so I'll just show this to you, and it's like 2 parts, one without weight and then one with.
Right.
And you position that thing right there where your waist bends, right? And you just do as much as you possibly can. And it's so good for your hands, your glutes, and really that lower back. And here I work my way up to be able to doing it with a weight. You don't even have to go heavy with it.
I'm digging that music.
Yeah. So you just do as much of that as you possibly can.
Yeah.
I think these are all great exercises. And again, I'm focusing today on exercises that are good for people maybe like you don't work out, maybe you're older, maybe you have physical issues, that kind of thing. You know, so that was really what I wanted to teach about today when it comes to that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. The whole life is movement, stillness is death. I think I wouldn't say I completely ripped that off, but it's like a shortness of it's an exit. Let me see. Let me figure out how to say this. So this is the example. When my mom passed away, my dad basically he stopped moving. I mean, literally. I mean, it was either from the bed to the TV. He stopped doing his other stuff, and his health declined rapidly. Not just physically, but mentally too. Right, and then on the flip side, I got my Filipino mother-in-law in Hawaii. She doesn't work out, but she's active. You know what I mean? She goes and visit her friend and family and starts talking and just as visiting family. She's active. She's up and moving, right? So I mean, that's the whole thing, is right. Life is movement. You got my Filipino mother-in-law who's out there moving about and just living life, versus my dad who stopped moving, and he passed away. And so I mean, that's not any shade on him. I'm just saying that's just where it came about. So you just got to keep moving, man. And man, we got so many fascinating things today. We got AI, we got crypto, we got cool people like you to meet. Man, there's just so much cool stuff out there to do right now. I mean, and it's very different. My grandfather was in World War II and stuff, and
Mine too.
maybe it wasn't there, but is it a very different lifestyle, right? They worked all the friggin' time. Their downtime was light work. You know what I mean? That was their downtime.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so, but he had this incredible he just loved to learn, man. He got me the first Commodore and stuff like that.
Oh,
and he always, he was, he just kept us kind of keep on learning and stuff. And so part of that life was movement, old man still can stuff is based on him too. He was always wanting to learn. And, I know I sound like a broken horse or a broken record. Broken horse. Yeah. That's what happens when you stop moving.
I love it.
But, we got such an interesting time, man, to be alive right now. It's just why stop? Why be stagnant, man? There's so much crazy good stuff out there.
Yeah, people's market, definitely don't give up, bro. I know you deal with a lot of pain, and I hope you work that out, dude. I wish you like the best on that. But okay, guys. So we talked quite a bit about lifting today. I hope you guys found some value in that. I hope. But we're gonna change gears here.
Yeah.
But before I do, I just gotta pop this up here and just do a little brag. USA. Let's go World Cup. Australia. Thank you. If you were doubting, is it football or is it soccer? I think this answers the question right there. Just a little bit of trolling here today. All right. So, old man, we just talked about workout. I have a cooking video.
Yes.
That's about it's one of my favorite post-workout meals. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's how I make bacon and omelets. That seems very simple. One of the things that I really want to focus on, like my cooking videos with this channel, is simple recipes that anybody can do, right? And it's like if you don't know how to do this, or it's like it's really showing you cooking for yourself can be cheap. It can be easy. You don't have to be a pro. You don't have to be, a 3-star Michelin chef. You don't have to be Gordon Ramsay. Anybody can cook. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anybody can do it. So here we go. No further ado. The video, hopefully it does not rug me. So here we go. A lot of different ways to cook bacon out there. I'm going to show you a very consistent and easy way to make this. And it produces a little bit less mess and is a little less time-consuming work for you. So started out here We've got bacon ends and pieces instead of strips. It doesn't really matter what kind you use for this. I like this because it's a cheap way to get some good, thick, tasty bacon. It's just all the pieces left after they've cut the pork belly. Okay, if you're doing strips of bacon, just lay them out in even layer rows. You can even overlap them just a little bit because it's going to shrink up, but you know, whatever. Anyway, this is totally optional here. You can put on some black pepper, just level it up a little bit. Just put it right all over there on the bacon. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a cold oven. We do not preheat the oven at all. We're going to put it in there at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that in Celsius? I don't know. Google it. So here we go. Get that straight into the oven. We're going to turn this on. Bake at 400 degrees in freedom units. And we'll give that a start. We'll set a timer for 15 minutes and we come back and check it. And if it needs more time, maybe rotate the pan, cook it for another 5. It usually only takes about 20 minutes at most. It's been 15 minutes. Let's see how our bacon's doing. It's looking pretty good and it's smelling pretty good. Come on over here, check this out. Give these a little bit of a flip. It's still looking a little raw, so we're going to put it back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Been another 5 minutes. Let's check on our bacon. It's looking pretty good, but I think it needs a couple more minutes, especially because of these thicker pieces. Another 3 minutes passed. Let's check on our bacon. And that's looking pretty good. We're going to just set that off to the side, and it'll continue to cook while it's sitting there resting. And should be delicious, but this is a super easy way to make it. The pan is going to be very easy to clean up because we use parchment paper. You can use parchment paper, you can use aluminum foil, but this makes cleanup a whole lot easier. And this is a very easy way to make it. You can chill while it's cooking, no problem. One of my favorite post-workout meals is omelets. We're going to make some right now. We'll see if we can't screw these up proper. You can put in whatever makes you happy. I've got onions, mushrooms, ham, and jalapenos because I like it spicy. Not everybody in the house wants all the same stuff, so I've got 2 pans to cook this up. I'm going to put in just a little bit of cooking oil in these pans here. They're already heating up. And I'm going to put the onions and mushrooms here together in this pan. We'll saute those up. And I'm going to put the ham in the other pan. And you just stir and saute those for a while. And we'll get our eggs and everything else ready here in a little bit. All right, let's see if we can't screw up some omelets here. So got a pan here. It's good and hot. You need a lot of heat. I put a little bit of oil in there. Some people like to use butter. Some people will do both. You don't need both butter and oil. Just pick one or the other. Gonna do a 3-egg omelet here. Crack that in there. That's 1. 2. We get the crunchy part out. No good. And 3. We'll whisk that up real good. And then straight into the pan. And it's already cooking, which is exactly what we want. Get it nice and even here. Now we're going to sprinkle some of our vegetables on there that have already been cooked up. Get a little bit of this delicious ham in there. Now is the time when you want to season this. So I'm going to put in a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And, you know, because I like things spicy, I'm going to put some jalapenos in mine. So let's just drop those fresh, raw jalapenos straight in. Now, what you're looking for here is the edges to cook up. You don't want to take too long on this, otherwise it'll start to turn brown and overcook. The trick with omelets is always flipping them. And if you can master the technique of doing the flip, you know, good for you. Bullish. But we're going to get on this and see if we can't make a mess right here, right now. And that's not too bad. It's starting to brown just a little bit. That's slightly overcooked, but it's still going to be fine. Now is the time. I like cheese. I shred my own cheese. I'm just going to drop all that right in there on just 1/2 of this delicious cheese. Yum, yum, yum. Cooks just for a second. It doesn't take very long. Already fold in half right there. Beautiful in the pan. We can move it to the other side, and the cheese is already melting. This is going to be very delicious. And we can see this is already done. So we're going to just slide it off onto the plate in one. And because, again, like I said, I like spicy. I love that. So I'm going to top it off with a little bit of Tabasco right there on the plate. Serve it with some delicious crispy bacon or whatever you'd like. But this is so fast and easy, and it's a lot of protein. Really good meal for post-workout. Make it however you like. All right, cool. So I hope you guys appreciated that. I hope you learned something on that. Yeah, I get you. You scramble and mess them up. It takes practice. But I have recovered plenty of them. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. To me, it's the ingredients are there, but it's easy to make, and it's so good.
Yeah.
And I like doing the bacon that way because it's less mess, it's less time consuming, and you're able to come out with a very consistent, easy way to do it. So,
well, grease is always flying whenever you're fried bacon.
Right.
As much as I love bacon, it's like you said, it's convenient and it's easier to clean.
Now, I will say this: when it comes to frying bacon, if you're trying to impress a lady, if you could cook her bacon butt naked without flinching, I'm telling you, you will hook her for life. I speak from personal experience. I'm just saying. Anyway,
life hack.
So, anyway, that was the cooking one for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I've already shot so much, dude. Every night I'm like, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, but I need to make this video.
That was great, man. Yeah, eating healthy doesn't have to be too complex.
It really doesn't. That's what I wish. I want to get people to understand is that, like, eating healthy, fewer ingredients, less processed food, it's so much better for you. It's so much like if you're counting macros, like if you're trying to lose weight and all this, it's so much easier to do it if you made it yourself. And, to me, there's like a prize, like, man, I made this, I made this, right? And it's actually delicious. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be, all these things. To me, that's just, I love cooking. Don't get me wrong, I love it. So
yeah, I'm gonna be barbecuing tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Right on. So speaking up, guys, July 4th is on a Saturday, and I will be streaming. I will be barbecuing. I will be doing this then. But actually, oh man, so you sent me some images, and I need to find them. See, where did I put those things? Here we go. Okay. I don't know what order to put these in, so I'm just going to pop them up. And this is more about Old Man Still Can. What is going on here? Which one of these guys is you?
On the far left. The big
far
dude.
Left. This guy on the very far left in the black?
Black, yep. So that's a Dog Brothers gathering. We talked a little bit. I showed you the video, just to give you a little bit of history. Oh man! So when you watch the video, the guy in the middle, right, with the cool Wolverine kind of beard, his name is Mark Denny. So wait, let me in this picture. There's me. There's Poi Dog. There's Top Dog. There's Lonely Dog. There's Crafty Dog. There's my friend Kahuna Dog, Kavika, and there's Salty Dog. right? So, and the guy Mark Denny, right? They have this organization, Filipino Martial Arts, and it's I'm trying to. There's so many different ways. So basically, in like 1988, right? In Filipino martial arts, people they talk about the weapons and sparring and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's too deadly and too all for that. So these guys just went out and started sparring, and you know sometimes technique in martial arts gets really complex, and the whole thing was about can we maintain can we pull some of this stuff off and real heavy adrenaline type loads, right? Kind of like MMA, right? Can you pull those cool submissions off, which they do, right? And the
Yeah.
long story was short with the Dog Brothers is that they'd go out and spar and look, it's not that dangerous. Yes, you get beat up, but you know you survive, and that's in Hawaii, right? So that guy and the tall guy in the black, that's Dogzilla, right? And
The
so
tall guy
that's
in the
kind of
black. Okay.
well, we all look about the same height, but Mike's about 6'4".
Okay.
So I'm not sure, but his name was like Dogzilla. He's like a fed, not a fed, but he worked in the prison system, right? And
Okay.
so he's dealt with kind of stuff, right? He's met guys that he's trained with you know, outside he's trained with them, and then on the inside, those guys were basically showing people how to take them out. I don't know. That's a different conversation. And this is when we're at one of the Dog Brother events because they're oh wow, they're about like 30 years old now.
Okay.
This the organization. So that was me and Kavika and another Polynesian friend from Washington State. And
right.
yeah, that's in California. That's like one of the very first places they held the Dog Brothers events.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And you sent me one more. If you just what this here, this is your inspiration, or
Yes. So to go back, right, we talked about the Dog Brothers and Mark Denny would come up. You notice they have all these dog names, right? That's just kind of a brotherhood type of thing, right? Kind of a gang. I don't want to say gang, but you know, a friendly thing. Everybody gets to be creative after beating each other up. And then Kavika, well, he's the one, right? We're like, how do I say this? Mark Denny always had these really great sayings, right? Higher consciousness through harder contact. Walk as a warrior through all your days, and that's where Old Man Still Can comes from, right? But we just didn't want to say, well, that's their own thing. Me and Kavika, like we want something else that we could say to ourselves on a daily thing. That's where he found Old Man Still Can. And well, so sorry, I'm not trying to get emotional, but Kavika, we basically called him the machine, man. And on his days after his 49th birthday, man, he just collapsed.
no?
Right? He was always in good shape, right? He's a federal fireman. You know, you have to maintain physical fitness and stuff. And then he collapsed, and they rushed him to the hospital. And he had just a bunch of other stuff. We can kind of get into conspiracy theories, but he was a fit dude. I don't know why he had all this. The surgeon said they basically found all this cloggage. I don't remember what the term they used, but you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here? But the long story is, right, that's I keep that up. And we talked about Old Man Still Can. We had shirts and stuff, and I don't know, I'm just dedicated to taking it to a different level. And
Gotcha.
in his honor, his son, hopefully he's I posted on Twitter, his son got chosen for this judo camp. It's a big deal. I mean, he traveled. He always brought his son to the States, and they'd go to these judo camps and compete. And he might be going to the Olympics. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty stoked. And so, yeah, part of Old Man Still Can is just to help keep. He'll always be alive to me, but also the spread the whole thing, right? Because you hit on a whole bunch of good stuff, right? If you can't do the whole movement, to start where you can, right? And that just fits into 1% every bit better every day, right? That just fits into the whole stoic kind of mindset. You do what you can, and you don't focus on being Billy Badass or being that fitness influencer. Just do what you can, keep moving, keep improving, right?
Yep.
And that just in everything. Keep doing.
I'm going to show just a bit of this one video that you shared with me, just because this is like what you guys were doing, and these are just sticks.
Yeah, well, see, they used to say, "Oh, that stuff's too deadly. You'll die." Well, I mean, they used to have death matches in the Philippines and stuff.
Okay.
So those guys, but they didn't fight with gear. This is a heavy hardwood stick and no protection.
Okay. All
But
right.
the whole thing with the Dog Brothers is like to go out there. Can you do the technique?
Oh man, that looks
And
brutal.
oh yeah, there's one clip where one guy gets hit in the knee, and I think his kneecap gets split.
Right
But
on. Okay. Cool.
yeah,
That is pretty cool. I actually like I can't show
no,
too
it's all
much of
good.
that, but yeah, that's awesome, man. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see. It's been about 42 minutes. Now we're going to change gears again. The education never stops here on the Cook. We're going to switch in now to some LP. We're going to talk liquidity providing. And I know, oh man, I know you had a question. Why don't you go ahead and ask what you wanted to know about liquidity providing?
I don't know if it's a form of a question because I've been, I was aware of you. I was actually probably in a boot camp once. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah?
mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So, we're in certain times, like I said, right? There's meme coins. We're both in our 50s. We're both part of people who are have 401ks, or now you do something else. And we're at such a cool time. There's different ways to make money outside of just the 401k. You know, people probably don't want to get into meme coins, but that's a fun degen kind of thing. But you can really lose your ass. And the
Sure.
same
Yeah.
thing with leverage, man. You
Yeah,
can,
definitely.
but then you got to have money. You got to have big money to make big money. And I'm sure it's just kind of the same with DLMM, but this seems like a really safe way. So
Yeah.
I really want to get into it because
Okay.
well.
All right. So let me answer that. So people out there, if you are looking for something that's maybe a little bit safer, a little bit more stable, that it's just like not meme coin rugs, what have you. Okay. All of that exists out there. And here I'm on the Meteora discovery page. And so what the first thing that I'm doing is like maybe I'm looking at a 4 hour or a 24-hour time frame here. Okay. And I will sort this by volume. Okay. And so you can see in the last 24 hours what has got the most volume. And the other thing that you can do here is you can turn on these filters and turn on like verified. So it's verified with Jupiter, which means it's not some brand new scam. Okay. Jupe Shield Safeguard, put that on there. Maybe no high supply concentration, no high single ownership. If you want, you can set your market cap, let's say a minimum of, let's just say 5 million. Okay. So we set that, and now we see what's coming up on top. Sol USDC. Sol USDC is always a solid pool. And yes, I know Sol has dropped in price recently, but it goes up and down. And, like if I end up with Sol, if I end up with USDC, cool, right? And I'm not shilling any tokens here, guys. This is just what's been popping in the most volume in this last 24 hours. The Met sold, Jupe has actually been moving. ZEC, if you're into that. Useless, which kind of like started out as a meme, but it's become a little bit more stable. Any of the BTC, so Coinbase BTC, things like that. The Zero, if you're into that. I don't know how Fartcoin is still alive, but it's got $120 million market cap.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is really insane because I heard about this guy. He sends stuff to his accountant for taxes, and his accountant goes back at him and was like, "Bro, I don't have time for games. What is this fart coin on here?" And he was like, "No, really, dude, I own like this much of something called fart coin." And I'm like, okay, zinc, whatever. So this is like really what I'm looking at is, like what's got the most volume. You can also sort by fees. Okay. This is like a different indicator which pool is perhaps performing the best at this given moment, generating the most in fees. So the most in volume and the most in fees are not necessarily the same thing. Okay. And you've got fee percentage, bin step, which this is pretty high. I think a 5% base fee for an 11 million dollar market cap token. That's kind of wild. I think a smaller base fee is more appropriate because you see here Sol USDC fee is 0.04% and a 4 bin step, so it's very small. But they're going to capture more of the volume than a high one. Let's just go in here and look at it. Okay. I click this drop down right here, and this is going to show me like all of the pairs for this. And you'll see where all the volume is happening. It's in these smaller fee and low bin step. It's because there's a lot of total volume out there, a lot of TVL, a lot of people who put their money into this, a lot of stuff going. So if you go with a really high fee, you're not going to get very much. So like we see here, this 2%, in the last 24 hours, it's seen $141,000 in volume.
That's crazy.
Which for Sol USDC is pathetic. This top one, the last 24 hours, $3.2 million just through this one pool, right? So usually I would pick something like this or the 10 bin step and 0.1 that allows you to go a little bit wider on it. But anyway, to me, this is a solid place that you can go. And there's a really cool thing. It's like right now, I don't really have any USDC in my wallet. I can use the zap in feature, which it will automatically buy this. Now you're limited to a maximum of 70 bins when you do that. And in this pool, this 10 bin step, that limits our range to -3 and +3.5 on the upside. So that makes our range pretty small. But you kind of have to look at the chart. Like, what's it been doing? Like, here's a 30-minute chart, okay? And we can see that, it's dumped in and out of that range. So the reality of this is that I may want to actually go with a wider range. Maybe whatever I think Sol is going to do. Now, I would have to own USDC if I'm going to go wider to be able to deposit like that. The alternative is you could set yourself up, like if you just have Sol and you don't want to buy the USDC, you can just go one-sided. And this is kind of like, I think I'm going to go up. Okay. I mean, you can set it wider. It'll just leave the bins blank. So yeah. And here, if you people's market, real quick question: if you have one Sol, would that be enough to start? Yes, you can start with just one Sol. Now, when you go into higher market cap pools like this, where there's a lot of other liquidity out there, and the volume and the base fee is lower. With that little bit of money, you're not going to make a whole lot, at least not in the beginning. You have to learn how to like stack it, compound it, increase it over time. It'll take longer. In those situations, you may want to look at something that's maybe still kind of stable-ish, but you'll capture more off of this. Now, this one, I would probably not play this one right now. But just looking at the 1 hour time chart, this one has been actually going up. So it may not be a bad one. This may be what you might consider a little bit of risk. Okay. And this one, I would probably just go one-sided with this, like just USDC to catch the dip, and I might even set up a DCA like this with the bid ask, because it's going to buy more of it as it drops. This just helps preserve your capital. Okay. So that's probably what I would do in that situation. There's a lot of different things that you can go and do. If you like MET, you can do that one. If you like zinc, if you want to even look for like BTC, if you want to do Bitcoin, and there's a lot of different versions of it, right? So like this is just wrapped Bitcoin. This is Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, XBTC, ZBTC, WBTC. It's all different variations of BTC. You can go in this one. And like this one is a correlated pool, actually, because it's two versions of Bitcoin. So they're going to stay close in price. And we see over here the liquidity distribution. Notice how like it's on this big curve and it's not very wide, right? It's covering just a very small price range. Zooming out to a 12-hour chart, let me just bring this down. If we put in, let's just say we're rich and we have 1 Bitcoin. Actually, let's don't do that. It's freaking out on me. It's not showing me the lines here. I don't know why. Anyway, all right. So we see on a 12-hour chart the high and the low. And this one is a little less correlated than maybe some of the others. Let's go back. Look at BTC again. Different one. Here we go. Coinbase and WBTC. So there again, if you want to set just a specific range with this, you can. Here we go. That's where our bin lines are. These orange lines is just like a way to define your range. Hope it didn't just freeze up on me. Anyway, that's here's another one, guys. And right now I'm going to show you what's called the DLMN Playground. And for anybody who's just starting out, I recommend that you come to the DLMN Playground. It's available on lparmy.com. And this is like, if you're familiar with the words paper trading, this is paper trading, but for liquidity providing. So this is a great place to start, because you're given a fake wallet with 100 SOL and 20,000 USDC. Actually, let me reset this wallet here.
Reset that's awesome.
That back. Yeah. Reset. And you can swap. Like you can do fake swaps for stuff, right?
Really?
But yeah, you get all of this, and any pool that exists on Meteora, you can play with here in the playground. Let me just, page freaking out on me here for a second. Let me just do it this way. CBBTC.
When is your next boot camp?
So here is what we actually do with that now. Number one, it's no longer called boot camp.
Okay.
Number two, it's called LP Academy. And while we do sometimes do live sessions, everything is always available anytime on lparmy.com. You come out here. Here's the LP Academy. You can start learning like right here. The whole course, you could go through it on your own time. It's broken down into sections that you can go and do any of these things. Just like I've only got time for a few videos today, and you go through it, and there's like self-check quizzes. Once you go through all the quizzes, enough of the sections, you come to the graduation, and there's a test and all of that. So you can do all of that right there. You don't have to wait. But anyway, getting back to the playground, which you find here, this is a great place. You're like, I want to know, is Hype Soul a good play? What would it look like if I say I only put in one soul? Just erase that here. Set that to 0. And I go here and I say, let me go down 20%, negative 20, let's just say 22%. I can add this liquidity. It looks like a real wallet. So here we go. I've got a position, and I can test this. And I can see how it's going to work, how it would perform. Would I have done well? Should I have gone wider? Should I have gone tighter? You could play with a lot on this to just find out what's going on. And the other cool thing about this is you can totally leave this going and come back to it. You have to leave the tab open in order for it to collect swaps. But if you close this and you come back, it's not going to reset the playground. It'll remember your old positions, your history. Like for this one, say I'm going to close it. I've got my little P&L card that tells me what I did, but here's the history right here. So you could do like a whole bunch of them and go and see like what it would have looked like, right?
Yeah, that's a great tool, right? I mean, that's
yeah,
unless you have the money to burn, but yeah.
Right. Well, this is before I go and risk real money, I can come here and play in the playground, and it's pulling actual on-chain data. Like
right, real data.
Yeah, this is the real price chart for this Hype Soul. This is the real price chart for Soul USDC. This is what it's looking like. This is on a 3-minute chart. This is literally what it's doing right now. This is not fake price movement here. This is very real. And like you can say, pretend like you're rich, put in 50 soul, right? And say, let me test out the curve strategy here and see what that looks like. So it's just like it's just a different way to play and experiment, hone and refine your strategies and before you risking your money.
And you guys cover I just started the LP Academy.
Okay.
But do you guys cover like the different strategies in there as well?
Absolutely, yes, we do. We talk about a lot of your basic strategies of getting started. Like for example, one of the classic ones that we teach is something called the bid-ask flip. Okay, so it's a one-sided soul bid-ask. A lot of times you might be going kind of wide on it. So just for giggles, let's go 50% down on this. And I just set this up like this. So I'm hoping to catch this on the way down, and you really start to earn fees once it starts to hit kind of like down here. Because like while it's here at the very tip, there's not very much liquidity, so you're not getting very much in fees, right? But you're still retaining a lot of your soul. Once it starts to get down here, you're buying more of that token at a lower price. Okay. So once it starts to get down there, or even way down here, what a lot of people will do at that point is they'll come in here and they'll just withdraw the liquidity without closing the position. You just withdraw the liquidity, and then redeposit it back into the position um, with just that other token. Okay, so hoping for that bounce for it to go back up, you sell more of it at higher prices. That is the bid ask flip. That's just one that we teach. It's super effective. Um, I know a guy in Turkey who bought a brand new car using nothing but that strategy.
That's awesome.
Yes, he brought a brand new Volkswagen Golf doing just that. Um,
Sweet.
we teach a few other strategies, but the other cool thing that we also have um, is an entire strategy library. Like right now, there's 366 things coming out like every day. It seems like there's something new because people are adjusting to the market and saying, "Oh, we're in a bear, so you have to change with the market, right?"
Right.
So people come up with this, and you can come in here and say, "You know what? Tell me just about bid ask stuff." So you've got all
Wow.
these absolute legends out there showing you how to use the bid ask effectively, right? Or their way of doing it. Or, like I want to know about spot. There you go. So entire strategy library, it's free to anybody who wants it. All right there on lparmy.com. So, all right. I've done a lot of talking, going through a whole lot of stuff. Do you have any questions or anything that I can show you, old man, still can?
No. I
No.
just can't wait. Yeah, I mean that was great. I mean, I've been watching you. It just I haven't really been able to practice it. So I
Gotcha.
really happy about the simulator. I can
Yeah,
go in
yeah.
there and before I start losing my money, I can at least lose fake money.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, and I'm just like here. This again, it works just like the regular DLMM. In most cases here, I'm just doing like fake swaps for
Mhm.
these bitcoins. Say max, give me all of that. Okay, so let's put in
And you're swapping because we need a certain amount of uh, soul and the coin.
what's that?
You're swapping because we need a certain amount of soul and the coin that you're going to invest
Well,
in.
in this specific one, this is Coinbase BTC and
Mhm.
Wrap BTC. And I did these swaps for these two right here.
Mhm.
So let's see if we can't put in all of it. If it'll let me. Let's see, 0.12, and it did autofill on me. Um, I'm going to see what happens if it like if I think it's going to be correlated in price, right? Because they should be. It's two versions of the same thing. Um, just messed it up. There we go. I'm gonna go really tight, like 0.34 and 0.35 on the up and the down, and I'll do a curve here. And I could give this some time and find out if my strategy is correct. Like, should I have gone really tight and done a curve on this? Or would I have gotten wrecked doing this? This is how I find out. Like, what's my best strategy for this? Of course, you have to look at things over time, but like here, I could see that there was a big dip. But you can also maybe see some times where it stays together. We see some price swings here, right? This is a 1 hour chart. But we can also see some times where it just kind of went sideways. And that's what I would expect out of a correlated pair. But you just never know. So, was this the wisest strategy? Well, I'm going to find out, right? It's just going to take some time to get there.
Right.
But that's what's great about the playground is I'm not wasting real money to find out the hard way. So
That's great. That's a great tool.
yeah, super great tool. Big shout out to LP Army lead Alex. He is the dev behind this, and like literally no one like asked him to do it. He's just like, man, there's a need, I think, for a simulator for people to try stuff before getting wrecked. So let me just create this, and he just did it. And we're actually on V2 of it right now. You can even test limit orders here, which is a new feature. And a limit order is a limit order, right? Everybody knows what a limit order is, right?
Yep.
Okay, here's the big difference. A limit order here on Meteora is, it works. It gets filled. It goes one direction. If it hits your price, it converts to the other token. Great. But here with Meteora, you're in a liquidity pool, and you are going, as that thing fills, you're going to earn fees on top of it filling. So it's like I'm getting paid to do a limit order.
That's pretty damn cool.
It is pretty damn cool. Let's see if I can show an example here. Here is some limit orders here that I did. And so they were very small, granted. But like this one, it completely filled, and I got some fees on top of it. And again, I went very, very small with it. It was like 0.1 SOL. But I got paid when that limit order filled. This other one is in like progress of filling, and it's earning fees along the way. So that's just cool to me, is like a way to trade but get paid to do it.
That's pretty wild. I mean, and that's not even entering the DLMM pool, right? That's
yes and no.
Okay.
It's actually done within the pool itself.
Okay.
So like here's positions, right? And here's a position that I've got, and I'm out of range on it because Met pumped. And that's all great. But here you do that limit order right here within that pool. And just like this is the setup. If you want to do it, like say I want to get into Met using Sol, I can set that up just like this. I can go for a single price, set that wherever I want, or I could do the price range and I can shape it. If I want to do a DCA like this, I can set it up just like that, and it'll DCA into it for me. And I just place a limit order, and when the price hits that, it'll fill, and I'll be paid along the way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, super bullish. So
super bullish.
Yeah, super bullish. It's been over an hour. Man, we've covered a lot today. Talking about not giving up on life, keep moving forward, keep working, keep learning. And I really hope that's one of the big takeaways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your evidence, you stay in shape, you keep moving forward. Your friends that you missed, that inspires and it motivates you.
And I got people like you and other people, Kev. I got my Saga DAO family, and hopefully build a community. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are here talking about crypto, but there's a lot more that builds us or connects us.
Absolutely, yeah. So we talked about that. I mean, we talked about cooking, crypto.
Hey, everybody loves to eat. I love to eat.
Everybody loves to eat. Anybody can cook, man.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be hard, man. Just think about something you like. Start combining it.
Absolutely.
What happens if I mix the bacon and the eggs at the same time? I don't know. Stuff like that.
Today I'm drinking creatine and electrolyte, and a lot of your bodybuilders are taking creatine because they're trying to build those big muscles and do all that. But creatine can be for anybody. Um, it helps with brain function, especially like if you've maybe sweated a lot or whatever. But yes, it helps build muscles and do all these things, but it's good for brain function. Is all this? It's a naturally occurring substance, found in meat and what have you.
Yeah,
But I
there's so
even
many
recommend it.
studies. So, I mean,
Yeah,
everybody, yeah, it's like probably one of the most tested, one of the most safest
yeah.
things out there.
And the other thing that I would say about it is, creatine monohydrate. Um, you don't need to buy like a specific brand of it because generally speaking, creatine is creatine. There's nothing
Right.
different, So you don't have to go and buy the big name brand stuff out there.
I like
Um,
using that one company. I don't know. I'm not trying to show, but was their name bulk supplements? You know what I mean? It just comes in a pack that says creatine bulk supplements.
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. And the other thing is electrolytes. Now, not everybody needs electrolytes. If you're sweating and you're doing a lot of these things where you're losing a lot, if you've been sick and sick in a way where you lose a lot of liquid, it's vomiting or whatever, you should replenish with electrolytes. The other thing I'll tell these people, and I bet Kevin People's Market knows this. The number one sign of dehydration is that you're thirsty. The next is headaches. And I cannot tell you how many times I have fixed my headache, my wife's headache, with a glass of electrolytes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just problem solved. So that's just my tips for you guys today is get your creatine in, get your electrolytes in, keep working, keep cooking, keep rocking.
Absolutely.
Anything final you wanna talk about, say, mention, bring up, inspire before we head out and rock out for today?
I think you covered it, man. Keep moving. You're never too old to start something new, right? Like I said, we're in a different time than our grandparents, man. We should be living a better life. I know things are hard for everybody, but there's always something to look forward to. And, don't look, what am I trying to say? Don't look at the influencers, man. Just
Yeah.
live your life as best as you can. Yeah, I'm hungry now too, Kev. I'm gonna go get some
All
food.
right. So let me ask you this. What did you learn anything at all today?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or
I don't
what
know if
what
I can throw it back to you, but I know that I need to go through. I need to complete my LP Army, go through the academy, so I can start making some money, and then start testing different strategies. I really like that strategy page, that library you guys got, because then I can look at other people's thoughts as well and see what works for them. And
yeah,
everybody's different. Our mindset is totally, how you think and how you approach things is totally different than people's or Kev's and mine. So it's, YouTube. Look at what YouTube is, man. It started out all these videos, and now we got so many people sharing their thoughts on how to do things that you can find. You should be able to find somebody that clicks with you, and
yeah,
hopefully, it not say it has to totally align with you, but teaches you something and validates your thoughts, right? And if
absolutely.
not,
You
you
know
have to
what? Like,
shift.
I love YouTube because I'm like, okay, I got to take off the upper and lower intake manifolds
Yeah,
on my wife's SUV. Let me check YouTube, and sure enough, there's a video on how to do it. Like,
right.
yeah, how do I do this? How do I do that? Before you used to go to the art parts store and buy the Haynes or the Chilton and like
Chilton,
read, or you just figured that shit out. Uh,
you
but
used to be
now
able to
it's
figure
like,
it out on the cars. Now it's, oh my gosh. I
yeah,
had a
for sure.
66 that was so easy to work on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can find just about anything on YouTube. You can also find the wrong way to do it.
Yep.
Bro, I saw this one video where like this guy, he was going to change out the fuel pump on a Durango. Okay. And it's inside the gas tank, and you need to drop the gas tank. Okay.
Wow.
So the guy was like, all right, here's how you do this without dropping the gas tank. I was like, okay, I want to watch this. Homeboy went, removed the back seat, got a cutting tool, and was like cutting through the bottom metal floor of the car right over this. And I'm like, this is a fantastic video on like, here's how I could set my car on fire and
blow up
the whole damn thing up.
Wow.
Like the amount of effort that he put into it is like, bro, just drop the gas tank.
Yeah. Well, he's in a closed space, man. All those fumes, right?
Yeah. No, it was like absolutely insane. It was the craziest thing ever. But, you know, it's just like, bro. Anyway, guys. Thank you, Old Man Still Can. Do you want to? I think you got some plans for something come up. Do you want to talk about that or?
Oh yeah. So, yeah, probably gonna start a show, just a morning show, something with good vibes. I'm just having fun with the name, right? You know, like what the fuck's up?
Yeah,
just the whole play on it, right? Just what, you know, something to get that energy rolling in the morning, right? Sometimes waking up is hardest thing to do, and something, you know, hopefully have you on there as a guest. You know, we love metal. Wake up with metal and that high positive energy, and get people moving in the morning. A good way to, you know, talk about crypto, talk about lifting or whatever. And
yeah, absolutely.
A positive way to start the day.
You know, I think everybody should. I'm okay. What I want to say is, I think right now in the space, because you know we're still kind of like bear market. You know, souls down, people get down with that, or whatever it is. I think a bit of, you know, positivity is something just the world needs. You know, and I mean, guys, if you're not into it, you're not into it. But I mean, I love the positivity, the vibes, because you know what, like bad vibes, what does it do for you?
Takes you down, man.
Nothing.
Yep.
It does not move you forward. It does not help you. It just makes you freaking sad. And, you know, and that sucks. So, anyway, guys, tomorrow is Father's Day. So all you dads out there, I wish you a happy Father's Day. Old man, I hope you have a good one.
Yeah, I hope you have a good view.
I will be doing my other stream, Heavy Metal Crime, tomorrow, Father's Day. It's gonna be bullish, guys. We also Suck It Out. We have Suck It Out TV has got so much else going on there. Kev's Game Room, he streams on Friday nights. So if you're into gaming, Solana Gaming, whatever, bro, go check out Kev's Game Room.
That's an excellent show.
Yeah, it's an excellent show. Saturday evenings, like tonight, we have Everclear is running the block party. Right?
Yo, he does such a good job.
Yeah, and guys, it doesn't even have to be about crypto. You don't have to be into crypto to get into the block party. It is a literal party, nonstop. You can win prizes, but you can just have fun and chill with people. So check out Block Party. Quicks from Soulflare, he runs the Moon Show. I believe that's on Wednesdays or Thursdays. People's Market, he runs the Alpha Den. I believe that's on Wednesdays. Yep, Wednesdays. So all that and more is coming along, guys. Check it out on the Saga DAO. Go get the alpha. Go find out what's going on. So much more is coming for you to see and do and party and learn and be bullish. So that's it, guys. We will see you next week. Rock on. And oh man, you still can. Thanks for joining me, brother.
Bro, that was that video you made. That didn't even cross my mind. That's brilliant.
Yeah, still can. That is brilliant. Yeah, hell yeah, guys. Remember that. You still can. If you think you can't, you're wrong. You still can.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you. We'll have a good one.